Hi, good to see you.
You have been behind the well-known series like The Simpsons and Futurama and Drawn Together. And all these series have something in common. They are 2D animation.
Yes.
Now you land a project that is entirely in 3D. So what complication did you encounter?
Well, I would say the principles of animation are always the same, 3D is it's a more complex technology in achieving a good performance, but in communicating with an animator, who's striving to put across a convincing performance, the language that I use, is exactly the same. The language that I would use communicating with an animator halfway around the world in Korea on The Simpsons is the same type of language that I would use with an animator that I'm talking with who's sitting behind a computer screen, a monitor, animating a 3D character. So you're right, the technology is, vastly different than 2D, but the goal, is always the same, to put across a convincing and a funny or sad or, dramatic performance, whatever the scene calls for.
The first time I saw the trailer and saw Bowser and Zangief and
Yeah.
Dr. Eggman, all these characters that, who, to be honest, I never imagined to see together, especially in a movie.
In a Disney movie.
Yes, of course. And my first thought was, how do you do it? How was the negotiation with the companies?
Well, I picked up the phone and said, Bowser, I need you in this movie. Get over here right now. Bring Zangief and Eggman with you. No, we developed the movie just as if we could get any of these characters. We didn't try to limit ourselves. We didn't try to worry like, well, maybe we shouldn't try because we probably can't get them. That'd be the wrong way to start. We just started as if, okay, let's just imagine that they're available, we can get them, and just go from there. And I knew I wanted authentic characters, like real video game characters in the movie, because otherwise, if they were just fake characters or pretend versions of the real characters, it would have, to me, didn't seem like it would be a movie worth doing, So as I said, we just attacked it as if we had the characters available. And when it came time to talk to the different companies about getting permission to use them, my producer and we met them face to face, and like the man from Namco, I said, hello, my name is Rich Moore. I'm making a movie about video games. Pac-Man is a huge character, a seminal game in the history of gaming, and we would really like him to be in this movie. And then I would explain, I had storyboards with me, I would pitch the scene, to the executives from these places, and really, just be honest with them, like, this is what we'd like to do, and what do you think? And most likely they would say, absolutely, yep, we really want to be in this. So in a way, it was kind of easy, it was easier than you would think. Our lawyers probably don't think it's easy because they're the poor guys that had to sit and write up all the contracts and everything. But just from a director's standpoint, we just went for it. We just said, let's try. What's it hurt to try to ask? Let's ask them and see what they say. If they say no, then we'll figure out something else, or we won't do it. But we have to try, and it worked out good.
You are currently an inspiration for the animation community, and now with this movie, for gamer as well. There are currently many very talented young people that wish to dedicate their lives to animation or video game development, but for economic reasons they can't. Which advice can you give to them?
Oh, well, when I was in college at Cal Arts as a young person, getting into the animation business, the animation business was not a healthy business. It was not doing so well in those days. This was in the 1980s, the late 1980s, and stuff on TV. There was no Simpsons, you know. There was only He-Man, you know. There was only My Little Pony, and everything was kind of a commercial for toys. Basically, it wasn't shows, you know. They were long commercials, and in movies, Disney had not moved into like the second golden age with The Little Mermaid and movies like that. So it was a pretty sad business at that time. And this was the climate, this was the environment that a lot of us were graduating into. It could not have been more bleak, you know. So there wasn't a lot of jobs to be had, you know. There certainly wasn't. We weren't doing it for the money, you know, or the prestige. It was only because we loved animation. You know, I loved animation. I wanted to work in animation, and you just never know what's going to happen within a couple of years. Like The Simpsons started, and I was lucky to be a part of that. And Disney went into the second golden age with Little Mermaid and Aladdin and The Lion King, and Pixar was developed. And, you know, who would have ever thought, you know, that this computer animation that used to just be for like logos and titles and stuff like this would become a huge, you know, art form in of itself. So, so I would say to those people, it's like, just if you love it, just do it. You know, you're never gonna have. There's never gonna be 100% guarantee of yes, you're gonna do fine. You're gonna make a lot of money. It's never gonna. You're never gonna have that kind of guarantee in a career in entertainment or gaming or animation. If you love it, just jump in, and it's possible. You know, it's possible to make a living doing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. I'm a testament. I'm evidence, you know, of that. So it's your dreams can be reached, you know, and all you have to do is try. It's never going to happen if you don't try. So you have to kind of jump in. So I would recommend jump in.
Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Dice que sea dama joven, sexy, exuberante, pues por mucho que lo haga no creo que me vaya muy bien. Entonces vi la película en un formato muy pequeño.